Hi, we're Mel and Missy, respectfully a clinical mental health therapist and fear fighter life coach. But it goes beyond that. We are representatives of you.
Trashed It is a brand that helps women focus on their next level of freedom by getting rid of the emotional garbage in their lives, whether it's toxic relationships, thought patterns, stigmas, etc.
We represent mothers and single mothers, daughters, wives, and divorcees, business professionals, entrepreneurs, and even Christians and ministers of the gospel.
We're trashing it all.
Hey guys, it's Mel
and Missy,
and welcome to another episode of Trashed It.
Yes.
So Missy, what's up? What's been going on?
Woo, a lot. But all is well with myself. It's well.
So churchy. So churchy. So churchy. Is all well with your soul?
It's all well. All well. All is well.
Good.
So, how is well with you? How are things with you?
Things are good. Kids are still acclimating to being back in the school building. I think this is at least one day a week where
does she ask for a mental health day?
Well, no, she goes to school. She just doesn't catch the bus.
Okay.
So we have a standing record of at least one day per week I have to take her to school. And usually it's just because I made up my mind the night before that I'm not getting up that early.
Understand.
And
but at least she's not late to school.
No, she's not late. She's on time, and everyone is happy.
Oh, how funny. Everyone. Oh, I love it.
I don't really have an opinion, but I'm just saying. What we got?
Oh, mercy. Robert Kelly, better known as Aura.
Yeah, I saw that when it was first breaking.
Yeah.
And, I really couldn't put into words how I felt, right? Like I didn't feel angry. I didn't feel, I also didn't feel justified, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
If that's, I don't even know if I'm even wording that right. I think I felt sad.
Mm-hmm.
I felt sad, and what kept coming to mind was nobody wins. That was the statement that just kept coming up for me, was like nobody won here, right? Those young ladies, they didn't win because there's still the trauma. There's still, whatever it is they went through. Then there's R. Kelly, who, this is what he will be known for. This will now be his legacy. And I'm torn, right? Like I'm sort of torn. I definitely believe in justice being served.
However,
I am not okay that he is held to the fire, but we're ignoring that some of these chicks, some of these women, their parents sent them.
Yeah.
So
at 17, under the age of 17, I think, when a lot of this did take place with some of these young ladies. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean that's just it though. We're holding him to the fire, yet we're not saying anything about this mom or this dad over here that thought it was a good idea to send your baby, to send your daughter to live with this mega superstar
underage,
and for the sake of trying to get them on, like trying to gain them a career. Come on, man. Like,
yeah.
So that's just me. I'm just saying, and I'll leave it at that, because I'm sure There are others who probably feel differently or feel strongly one way versus the other. So, I leave it right there.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. We have had off-air conversations about it, just like everyone else has. But the elephant in the room, excuse me, is at 16, 17, under 18 years of age, you allowed your child or your children, whatever the case may be, specifically your daughters, to go and be mentored by this man who we know as R. Kelly. We see the Grammys, the awards, the lavish lifestyle,
right?
Everything. We see the things that come with it. But unfortunately, now we heard about what really came with it. But at the same time, I mean, why aren't the parents being held accountable?
Right.
I did not watch.
Unfair. That part.
It does. Yes, it is unfair. Because there's no way in the world I would have sent my daughter. Because if it's not a biological uncle and his wife, i.e. her aunt by marriage, you're not going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
and
agree.
It makes you wonder, the parents are living their dreams. Kids. And we have to be careful with that. You don't see a lot of that in sports.
I think this may be a topic to trash at some point. Because there are definitely different sides to it, different perspectives to it, different experiences with it. And so, maybe that's something we can come back to as a topic at some point.
I think so. I think so.
So, anything else that we don't really have an opinion on? We just saying?
I cannot, because I want to get off of it, because I could go right back to it, how I truly feel. I think how we both feel about it. And again, nobody is winning. Right. We are not ganging up on anyone, but I think it's the opinion of a lot of individuals, a lot of people, and maybe an opinion that we're saying that other people, I don't want to say afraid to say, but it might be hesitant to say.
Right. I got you. So here's the other thing that I want to put out to the world, right?
Yes.
And I'm just saying, for all of us who are not morning people, we need the rest of y'all, those of you who are the early morning birds.
I know, right?
Just because you see our little light on social media does not mean you should call us. That's what we're saying. I'm just saying, that is my opinion. Right?
Driver's ed, green means go. Let's keep the light on. Hold on, I'm not covering it right. Hold on.
Like that is my opinion. So on this one, I do have an opinion, and I'm saying to the world, hey world, we're not awake. We're not really thinking. We can scroll and thumb and not really be thinking. So y'all leave us alone.
But the light is on. That's an indication that you are ready for conversation.
No, it's not. Lies you tell. That is not what
ma'am.
Ma'am, that is not the truth. It's not the truth. Okay, I had to get that out there.
I understand. And I received that. That is not the truth. And I will at least wait until 10:01. How about that? Instead of 5:58. Hey, good morning. Your light was on.
It's like she won't let me live. She will not let me be great. I can't be great. I cannot be great at 5:30.
I love it.
I can go to the gym, but people at the gym are not talking to me at 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, but that's the relationship we have. I love it.
I know. And I know. It's what makes it work.
It does. It really does. Because I'm the morning person. You're the night owl. You'll call me at 11:15. Oh, what? Let me call you back. But yeah.
So, what are we trashing today? So, I want to trash the concept of little. When I say little, you know how you could talk to someone and it's, oh yeah, I saw your little show, or yeah, I saw you got your new little car, or I saw your little job promotion. And I think that is a topic I know for us that comes up quite often. Yeah. And so that's what I want to trash today. I want to trash the concept of little, and I want people to stop saying it, or at least be aware when you're saying it, because I also think, for the most part, people who use the verbiage don't mean it maliciously. Yeah. You know, and so I want us to be more aware of what we're saying.
Yeah. I cannot wait until this topic, because I have been the little queen.
Really?
I have. And I think it goes deeper for me. But I was not aware of it. Like, I've always said it, but I wasn't aware how often I said it until you and I started talking about trashed it. Just trashed it as, what does this look like? And so it made me go a little bit deeper. And where it came from for me. And then after I realized where it came from for myself, goes a little bit deeper as to why I'm not at a certain, and I don't want to say level. Okay. But I think why I am now starting to embrace this area in my life as opposed to before. Does that make sense? And
yeah. Because I mean, it's definitely a growing process. I was reading an article, and the article talked about how women are much more likely to downplay accomplishments, downplay promotions, just by nature.
Can I just stop my video? I'm gonna still listen to you. Go ahead. I don't want anybody to see my face. That's the picture for today.
Look, that's the picture.
That's the picture.
Like seriously, that's what the article was saying, that, you know, a lot of women downplay. Yeah. I was looking for the article again. It was saying that we downplay our accomplishments due to several different reasons, right? But mostly it's because we are looking at ourselves against, or not necessarily against, but in comparison to men. Right. And so it was talking about how, you know, that men are naturally more boastful. And because we get caught up in, you know, trying to balance work, life, careers, we get caught up with, we get caught up with the stereotype, right? Yes. Because here's the thing. So this article says, according to this article, people tend to view a bad experience with a woman boss to reflect all women bosses, saying no one sees a bad male boss as a reflection on all men everywhere. right? So we don't boast about our accomplishments because then we seem boastful or we seem arrogant. We it also said that perhaps we get caught up and things get overshadowed by motherhood, partnerships, domestic abilities, because we are still trying to figure out how to do both. Right. And then it was also talking about, it also spoke about the fact that many women prefer to assume more submissive roles. Because we are naturally, we're naturally in that role, right? We're naturally in that state of mind because we're always thinking about what the next person is going to think about us. So if I really walk in who I am, then I'm arrogant and I am boastful and I'm a know-it-all, right? And so in a lot of arenas, we naturally, we dumb down. We have the little mentality, right? It's not even, and I think that's what I really recognized was it wasn't always, and it's not always that other people are using the terminology little, but we think little. Yeah. We think little.
Yeah, I agree with everything that you just stated. Every single thing. I thought the article was quite interesting. I'll have to go and read that myself. But especially when it talks about the arrogant and being boastful and being prideful or being the know-it-all. Because when you identify and realize the word little, like what it means, little means more than just the size, right? It can even mean just the quantity and even the quality of whatever your it is.
Right.
And man, as women, we have held ourselves back from that to satisfy the crowd.
Right.
Yeah. And I did not realize how much I was saying it until the concept of trashed it came about. And digging deeper, because I did not,
into where it came from.
Yes, where it came from, and then now realizing the potential, the strength, and the power that I have in me. But not wanting to shine, or not really shine, but not wanting to walk in it, to step in it, to walk into my purpose because of other people, other situations, what people are going to say, you know, the chatter.
We don't want anyone to think we think that much of ourselves.
Exactly. And I don't think it's thinking much of ourselves, but so I've had that self-sabotage spirit. I've had that.
Imposter syndrome.
Yes. And I think that falls under that word little. I think there's so many syndromes and spirits that can come over that can that attach itself to that one little word that does not seem meaningful, but it has so much power.
And so for anyone that doesn't know what imposter syndrome is, so imposter syndrome is basically it's a psychological pattern where we downplay who we are, right? We downplay our skills. We are bosses. We are career women. We are professors and doctors and all of these things. But deep down, we think at some point someone's going to figure out I shouldn't be here because we don't think we are worthy to be in those spaces.
Exactly.
Right? We think we somehow just got there by happenstance, versus like, yo, sis, you really work for this. Like, you really went to school, you really got that degree, you really interviewed well, and they really gave you this job. They didn't give you this job out of pity. Right? Like, you didn't get this career out of pity. So you legit deserve to be here. But a lot of times, because we have imposter syndrome, everyone else can see our worth and see why we are in the space we are in, but us.
Are you interested in becoming a sponsor of the show, or have topic suggestions you'd like for us to trash? If so, email at wetrashedit@gmail.com.
That was good, Mel. Let the church say amen and pass the collection plate. Because you know what? I'm realizing, crazy as it sounds, like there's freedom in truth. You and I have talked about this, just, off the record type of deal. I think when you start doing things differently, talking differently, listening differently, and sometimes not even saying anything at all, moving differently, as you would hear a younger generation say, oh, I'm playing chess while they're still playing checkers. Kind of taking on that metaphor of life. But it goes back to that, well, they think they better. And so now you've got to get not have tough skin, but have tougher skin, and not letting those words that come from what and how you felt about yourself hinder, stop you, or bother you from what it is now that you're doing. And I just think it all just goes together.
Yeah, I think sometimes, it takes us so long to realize it. And to be honest, it wasn't until, as you said, I did the digging to figure out why I didn't see what others saw in me. It wasn't until I did that internal search and figured out, like, yo, okay, it's me. Like, really, the problem is really me. The problem is not anyone else. The problem is me, and my lack of seeing myself in this light. Right. And it wasn't until I was dealing with that and the foundation, right, the genesis of where that came from, that I even started noticing people saying little, because I was saying it all the time. Oh, she with a little friend, right? And I didn't really mean I wasn't meaning anything malicious by saying it, but the connotation of it is all the same.
Yeah.
Right. Isn't it TD Jakes that says, you can't see big when little's got you?
And that is so true.
And I think it was blinding me to the vast opportunities and just the possibilities of life.
Yeah.
Because I think the concept of little had me limiting. Basically, I think I was limiting God, right? Like, God can't be limited. I mean, he's unfathomable. So, but in my mind, I had all of these limits for what life could be, what life couldn't be, what I could do, what I couldn't do. There were things I would like to do, but that was someone else's. That could be someone else's life. Yeah. But, I had this limit because of my thoughts of little. So I never even noticed. And now when I hear someone say it, it's like super loud to me.
It is. It echoes.
Like, oh, why my stuff got to be little? Like, why?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's when I was hearing you say that, of course, and just writing things down, there, that word little is a space and atmosphere killer. It just, could you imagine how further along we as individuals, not Mel, not as Missy, just individuals, period, especially women, how further along we would be had we not, had we stopped attaching the word little to stuff. Mm-hmm. Oh, girl, I'm just going to, girl, let me go in here to this little piece of job. You know, mm-hmm. I'm getting ready to get into this little piece of car. Girl, let me, you know, like you stated, I'm in this little relationship. Really? And you sit and you think back on how many times we have equated that word with things that we have attached ourselves to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. You know, and as you were saying that, I was thinking sometimes we're not even saying the word little, mm-hmm. but it's in our thought pattern.
Yeah.
Sometimes the word little never leaves our mouths, mm-hmm. but the way we think, the way we act, the way we respond, mm-hmm. says it clearly says we have small thinking.
Oh, yeah, stinking thinking. That's small.
Yeah, stinking thinking. And even when it comes to, I think, others, being able to be along with you in your journey, mm-hmm. and, you know, maybe identifying, can this person see beyond little?
Yeah. Wow. And if
because now I get angry. I don't necessarily get angry, mm-hmm. but it really bothers me now when I am, you know, there are certain things you want to celebrate with people.
Yeah.
And it's almost a sad recognition, mm-hmm. that there are some people that will never be able to celebrate, mm-hmm. with you or with me, because there's like this limit, there's this ceiling on big, like, right? Like their big is little, mm-hmm. realistically. Mm-hmm. And because I'm trying to move beyond little and really giving God the opportunity to do big.
Yeah.
And for me to embrace big, I'm realizing, there are some people that can only see me small.
Wow.
Like they can only see me in this way. They can only see life from this lens.
Wow.
That's
a good one. And when you said it, you just stopped. I'm like, oh goodness, did she freeze up? Is she breathing? Is she breathing?
No, I mean, it's just, I think it's sad, mm-hmm. but it's a reality, because it's either you stay little or you do the work to grow past little. Mm-hmm. But when you grow past little, or when you start trashing little for yourself in your own life, there's the realization that, okay, not everyone is along on this journey with me.
Yeah. Do you think that word, and of course everybody's different, right, in their journey, and I'm just saying it now because I qualify now as that middle age, that AARP card holder, that, do you think that we recognize that we as women, that we recognize that word at a later age in life, as opposed to, in our early years of 20, I wouldn't say 20s, I'd say maybe 25 on mm-hmm. up, as opposed to right at that middle of maybe 45-ish, all the way up to, heck,
I don't think 60. So. Really? Honestly, I really don't think it has an age limit on it. I think you really start to notice it when you have determined that you don't want to be the same. I've watched that happen with kids in high school, you know, who may have came up in a certain environment and decided like, yo, this is not what I want for my life. And even though this is what everyone else around me says is this is it, and this is all I can do, well, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've watched kids in high school step away from friends or step away from particular family members when they recognize I want more out of life than this. And I'm understanding that you can't see this for me.
Yeah. Wow. And that goes back to the feelings of, well, who do they think they are? Arrogant, boastful, prideful. You know, yeah, I get it. But I know I can speak for me. So you talk about, I don't have an opinion, but I'm just saying, for me, I would honestly say it was this year. Like even through the whole time of this pandemic. So what, 19, maybe 20 months now, goodness, seemed like yesterday. That, you know, it seems like all the things that have happened since in my life, since the pandemic, since the 15th of March of 2020, that it has just literally, I mean, everything just changed. And so with the change comes me seeing myself differently. You and I have talked about it. And I think back to the time of being in your car, we're riding back, you know, to your home, and I'm halfway asleep, but I'm hearing you. And just some of the things that you said, I'm like, oh, ouch. I didn't come here for that. I'm just a passenger. What did TLC say? I'm just a passenger on my best friend's ride. You know, that type of deal. But yeah, that made me see myself in a totally different way. And realizing that it was coming and it came fast. And now it's almost like you're trying to play catch up. But you don't want to get ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
Because now your vocabulary has changed. And I'm not even talking about big words, right? I'm seeing the little words have more power than the big words. And it all goes to that word little. And I can't tell you how I have changed my vocabulary from us picking the subject matter, even before we knew when we were going to talk about it, that I'm more mindful of catching myself. No, we're not going to use that word little. I can be in conversation with someone. Nope, change it. Take the word little out and let's restart the conversation.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Trashed It. If you're feeling what we're trashing, make sure you subscribe to the podcast channel. You can hear us on any platform you currently listen to all your other favorite podcasts. Also, leave us some reviews. And if you want to see us live and in living color, subscribe to the Trashed It YouTube channel. Have a topic you want to hear us trash? Email us at wetrashedit@gmail.com or simply message us on our Trashed It Facebook or Instagram page.